Okay, this morning I'm going to show you how I made this little cart for my railroad track. Okay, to make the holder and the holders and the caps for the tanker, what I'm going to do is, got a couple pieces of scrap plywood here. I'm going to cut them together on my scroll saw to make two of these at the same time. That should be just about the right size. And now for the caps, it's going to be a compound cut. So I'm going to need a roughly 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch by approximately 3-4 inches long, so I can cut this out. And I can only do one of these at a time, so we'll see if we can get two of them anyways for the capping on the barrel. Should work out pretty good. So I'm going to go cut these out on my scroll saw, and I'll come back when I'm all finished with this. Okay, I have the two brackets cut out, and they were measured. It's about a 3-inch radius on this, and with the two brackets set like that, I think we're going to have our tanker holding in place pretty good. Seems to be holding on nicely. Now, the next thing I want to do is make the caps. At the top, I'm going to have two caps on top here, as if there's something in there that could be pumped out. To do that, I need to use the little cube I made here, and we'll do that, cut that out on the scroll saw. Also, okay, before I cut out this cap, I'm going to just show you how I set it up. I tape up the block of wood, and then I tape the pattern on the two halves, one on each side, right on the corner. And what I'm going to do is cut around, say for example, the circle here first, circle part of it, and then I'll tape up that part so that it doesn't fall out. And then I'll go to the other side and cut the side segment of the cap out. This should fit atop the 3-inch barrel just like the brackets do on the bottom. When this is done, I'll give you another look at it and show you how it fits. Okay, I've got these this piece cut out of the block that I made. This is the curved section, which I'm going to need for my tanker cap, and hopefully that'll fit nicely over the barrel to make it look like a cap on the top. I probably only really need one of these on the center, make it look like a cap where something would be removed from the container. So let's run this over the sander now, and then we'll go back and fit it on the barrel, see if it looks good. Okay, I've got the tanker set up on its brackets, and here's the little cap I just made for it. It should fit nicely right on the center. It's got a nice curve to it, matches the 3-inch diameter very nicely. Just have to get it centered on there somehow, make it look good. After this thing is all painted up, of course, it'll look a lot better, and just have to use a little imagination. Okay, now let's go to work on the actual bottom of the flatbed we're going to need for the tanker to sit on. Okay, I've cut the two brackets for the bottom of the container, and they're going to fit nicely on a little platform that I made. I got about a 1/4 inch piece of poplar here, and I think that's going to be the bottom of the car. Now I found a couple of old trucks here that I can use. Let me just back this off a bit. Found a couple of little trucks here that I can use. I'm going to mount these underneath the platform. And supposedly you'll be able to mount the barrels atop that, the barrel on top of that, along with the cap, which I've cut out. Okay, so we gotta now figure out a way to attach these. I think I'm going to attach it by drilling a hole on each end and putting a paper clip, paper fastener actually, to mount these on the trucks. I'll show you how that looks when I get that done. Okay, I've got the platform for the car all done. I painted it up. That's the poplar piece that I had. I got the trucks ready to be installed. I took the wheels off to make it easier to get to the little pin in there. I put a little paper fastener there. I'm going to use that through the hole to fasten down these trucks. So let's try and do that right now. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge here. You get a little screwdriver. We'll drop that through the hole because it's hard to get to it underneath there. Okay, got that in. We'll just pull that down nice and taut. Flip it over here for now. And we'll separate little tongs best we can with our fingers. There. We'll press that down. I'll use a screwdriver. Press them down, make sure they're nice and flat, or as flat as we can get them. A little bit loose, but I don't want it too tight anyways. Okay, we'll try doing the other side now. Take a drop of super glue and put it underneath each of these little wings. And that'll help to fasten it down so they won't move around so much. Fasten that down with a clamp on that side. Fasten that one down with a clamp on that side. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. There we go. Okay, we'll just let those sit there till that glue dries. And then we'll come back and put our little brackets on. We've got those trimmed down so that they should fit nicely, and the container should fit nicely on top of it. I've also taken the container and I put a heavy piece of oak inside of it, so it gives it some weight, and I think that'll be pretty good for that. Okay, we'll come back after that dries. Okay, this is pretty dry now. What I'm going to do, I glued the cap on top, of course. We can super glue. But what I did was I made, it's going to be a real dangerous tanker. It's going to contain nitroglycerin. So I made a couple of these decals just simply by printing them out on my printer and putting some box tape over them, and then you rub it down and cut it out and dip it in water for a few minutes, warm water, and then you rub off the paper on the back. It comes out with a nice clear decal. We're going to put a couple of these on here and see how they look. They're not perfect, but they're inexpensive and easy to make. I'm going to put that right down there, like that. Only on one side. It'll look pretty good when it's down. And we'll turn it over on the other side. We'll put another one. Decals are fairly easy to make. They're not really great, but I mean they're better than having to spend a lot of money on decals, which you can do if you want. Okay, even after you take them out of the water, there's still some glue on the back of those, on the back of the tape. So put that down on there, and when it's sitting in the cradle, it should look something like this. Let me take something, focus in there. Alright, so it looks something like this when it's on the cart. As again, I said it's not perfect, but dresses it up a little bit and gives you a rather dangerous content that you're working with here. Okay, I popped the wheels on the bottom here and glued down the little brackets for the barrel. And then of course the barrel container is put on top of it, and I glued those to the brackets also. I don't want the thing falling off as it goes around a curve later on. Looks pretty good. Might make another decal for the front of it and the back. We'll see. Got plenty of time to decide that. Cap is on the top, and hopefully the tilt couplers here will be fine enough for them to hold on to the rest of the consist. We're going to take this over to the track now, and let's give it a test run. Hope it doesn't topple over. It's a little top heavy, but not too bad. I think it'll be okay. See you there.